Ooh, that was strong. That was strong, yes. Today is feast of St. Luke the Evangelist. St. Luke traveled with St. Paul. He was a pagan, probably born by Greek pagan parents, of Greek pagan parents. He traveled, I believe, with St. Paul. He wrote the Gospel of Luke and the Acts of the Apostles. So Luke was, I believe, a physician and may have even traveled, when he traveled on boat, as the physician of the boat. He was he interviewed Paul for his research and other Christians, and also his own personal experience. Dog, you're gonna yank my arm out. And that's where the sources came for his gospel and for the Acts of the Apostles, what happened after Jesus died. Basically, the life of the early Christian. I think it said he may have been martyred, but maybe not. Probably yes. And this is the Dogwood Chronicles, and today's a beautiful day. The wind is out. Not cold like I thought. It's just fresh. And our first reading is from 2 Timothy. And Paul is saying how everyone's abandoned him except for Luke. And he's asking for Mark to come because he's of great help to him. And he gives these very specific: send the cloak I left, I think some papers, and his papyrus. So these are very, we were talking yesterday about the validity, because there are people who deny that Jesus even existed. No legitimate historian would, but there are people that really haven't researched too much and haven't thought through. Jesus is mentioned in books about Caesar, about some of the different Caesars. He's mentioned by Jewish historians who would have no reason to talk about him, and Roman historians who, again, Jesus is a thorn in their side. The Romans thought of Caesars as gods and said Caesar is God, and the Christians were saying Jesus is God. I can't remember the phrase, the Latin, that was used. I don't remember. Anyway, so that was basically radical revolutionary talk, and the Romans don't do revolution. They don't do dissent well, as we know. Where you end up is on the cross. When you crossed the Romans, you ended up on the cross, and no one came down alive from the cross. So yeah, now I lost my train of thought. But today is the day of the event. So Paul says that, so Luke, he asked for his papers. And then in the gospel, it's the Gospel of Luke chapter 10, where Jesus sends the 72 disciples out, says don't bring money, don't bring a walking stick, bring one cloak. Go wherever you go that welcomes you, say peace be with you. And stay there, eat, work with them until you leave, and then go straight to the next place. Don't stop and talk to people. There is lots of work in the vineyard to be done. In other words, lots of disciples to get. Ask the owner of the field for more workers. So I never really understood that. I'm guessing what Jesus is saying is there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of people to be evangelized. So pray to God for more Christian evangelists? Maybe? I don't know. I just got an understanding that probably many people already did, but it became more clear to me for a class that I kind of led last night with our teens, the youth group. The concept of the Word. It said Jesus is the Word, and it's in the gospel. The Word was God, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And then it says, and the Word became flesh. And I never really, yeah, it's there, but I never really put that and said, oh, okay, so the Word, so is it that the Word that God speaks, let there be light, let there be the waters move to here and there, let there be animals creeping and crawling and cattle, and it was. When God speaks, things happen, reality becomes. And so God spoke it, and then he says, let us create man in our image. So there were more than one people. God, the creator, Father, wasn't alone at the creation. And so I guess it's saying that the Word was there, Jesus, in the second person of the Trinity, not in the incarnated form, and that the Holy Spirit was there. And I think we hear how the Spirit rushed over the waters, and I picture that as being the Holy Spirit. I don't know if that's the correct interpretation, but so yeah, that's a lot. And that kind of went all over the place. But today is the feast of St. Luke the Evangelist. And we're all called as baptized Christians, as I'm a baptized Catholic. I want to make that distinction. We're called to go out and spread the good news. And hopefully we do it with our lives so people just see us and go, I want what he's having. I want what she's having. But also sometimes we speak, and that's why I make these videos. So, it's the Dogwalk Chronicles. I hope that was informative. I hope that was inspiring. If it is, good. Read your gospel. Read Luke the Evangelist. Pray today. If it's not, don't worry about it.